Hello everybody, Gamer Penny here, bringing you another episode of our Final Fantasy XIV online Let's Play, and we are back with Vesper, and today we're going to continue on the main story quest. So we need to speak to Mihlel at Mihred's Mayhan. That's a mouthful. Let me get this first. Alright. Alright, Mihlel. Welcome to Mihred's Mayhan. Oh, hello. I did not recognize you at first. Are you here alone? Let me find you a table. Ruins beneath the bounty. Would you be speaking of the sunken treasure vault? We have one regular, a historian in fact, who could tell you all about it. Ah, there he is. Professor Jolene. I thought I saw him come in. Although a somewhat private sort, the professor is quick to befriend those who share his fondness for the Mayhan's unique beverages. Offer him any drink from our selection, and he should happily share everything he knows about the vault you seek, and a few other odd bits besides. Whatever you buy for him is on the house, by the way. If Mihred found out I took coin from Thavnir's savior, she would have me scrubbing pots for a week. Where is he? Over here. Jolene. Yes? Bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum, ba. And what may I do for you, my Eorzean friend? Or just a friendly chat? How about a drink? Well, I certainly wouldn't say no to a drink freely offered. Here we are, one of Mihred's... I need to find out how to say that. Mihred's finest. Enjoy. Oh, lovely. Bottoms up. Jolene empties the cup in a single pull. That was very kind of you, miss, but I know when I'm being softened up. What is it that you want from me? Oh, chasing down that old tale, are you? It does seem to appeal to the adventurous at heart. Now, where to begin? Might I assume you've heard of Alzadal? He was Khan of the Aura tribe which sailed to Thavnir from the mainland, and a key figure in the history of Radzat Han. His decision to aid the Arkasodara is what ultimately won them the war against the Gajasura, thus allowing our predecessors to lay the foundation for this thriving city-state. This truly fascinating story, however, concern his grandson, Alzadal III, who was known for his deeds as satrap in Radzat Han's earlier days. Some attest that this man traveled to another world entirely and returned with glittering riches, others that he brokered an alliance with a certain worm of the first brood. Then there is a tale of the sunken vault, the one you seem most curious about. According to this legend, Alzadal III claimed a small island somewhere in the middle of the bounty. There he built a structure reaching clear to the bottom of the sea, a deep and secret storehouse, and locked all his worldly wealth within. In the centuries since, whenever a natural disaster or hardship befell Radzat Han, folk would remember that tale of hidden treasure. Hardy souls would set out to claim their fortune, but precious few ever made it home. Would you like to hear more? Apologies, I might have a slight tickle in... Well, my cup appears to be empty. Mihlel, another round for the professor. I see we've reached an understanding. You're a sharp one, adventurer. Another for the professor. Oh ho ho ho! Today was a splendid day to visit the Meehan. Jalheen gulps down his newest drink with gusto. Where were we? Yes. Those who did return from seeking the treasure vault flatly refused to speak of what they saw. Did this discourage others? Nay, quite the opposite. Such accounts only served to feed the legend, and the golden lure grew stronger than ever before. That reminds me of something Azama was saying. Azama's a fellow connoisseur of spirituous potables. Yes, he is. Anyway, he was saying that one of his acquaintances went after the treasure himself. Hasn't been since he set sail, I hear, but he did have, no, I can't say no more. You seem a generous sort. What kind of man would I be to encourage what is clearly a foolhardy quest? In my words, sent you to your death, I could never live with myself. I'm no stranger to peril. Is that so? Perhaps it's your turn to tell a tale then. What manner of dangers have you faced? The very edge of existence. From anyone else, I'd struggle to believe it, but I recognize you now. You're the hero of final days. A drink. I need another drink to settle my nerves, Mihail. More of the same, if you please. As you wish, but this one is on your coin, Professor. Jalheen drains yet another cup dry. Look at him. Anyway, you being who you are, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to share a little more. This friend of Azama's, he was desperate to buy a treasure map, one which showed the way to the entrance of the vault. Seems he could only get it to some merchant. What's his name? I forget. Let's drink a toast to you, my new best friend. Wilhelm, more drinks. Signal for water instead. Your drink, sir. Ah, marvelous. I am parched. Jalheen gulps down the cup of water. That was water. Did you tell her to bring me water? Still, that's probably for the best. Very kind of you, really. My head will certainly thank you in the morning. Ugh, I seem to have overindulged. I am put in mind of the words of Master Jalzin. Be wary how much of the drinks you swallow, lest it swallow you. Forgive me, I will subject you to no more of these unseemly antics. If you want to speak with Azama, well, as I said, we share a taste for the Meehan's fine spirits. He probably came in as we were talking. I wish you fortune in finding your fortune. You appear to have learned all that Jalheen has to share regarding the undersea vault. To find out more, you will need to locate a man by the name of Azama. Alright. Azama. Yes, I'm Azama, and who might you be? All true, I'm afraid. My friend took a ship out in search of Eldal's legacy, and I've been watching for his sails ever since. I tried to dissuade him, of course, but he refused to listen. All he could talk about was finding that vault. And that look in his eyes, I knew it wasn't common gold or jewels he lusted after. He was hunting Alzadal III's otherworldly hoard, and his ambition would not be denied. I see it in you too, that appetite for the mysterious and the unknown. But I'll not attempt to turn you from your path. I know too well the futility of that endeavor. So I will tell you what my friend told me, how he convinced the merchant in the bazaar to give him the rough location of the vault's entrance. It seems this merchant, one Zashel, I believe, is selling a map which shows the exact route, but my friend's purse was too light for its exorbitant price. With what meager wealth he had, he instead paid to learn that there are ruins on a small island somewhere in the Bounty, and within those ruins hides the path to the vault deep below. If you truly intend on seeking Alzadal's treasure, I suggest you put your affairs in order. I wish things were different, but I do not believe my friend is ever coming home. Aw. That's sad.
Please, Ashal, please! You must let me have that treasure map!
What's all this about?
My mother and father were slaughtered by monsters. My baby sister, still too young to fend for herself. Can you spare us no kindness?
So, you hope to find your fortune? And what? You expect me to surrender my wares for pity's sake? What have you to offer in payment? As I thought. Come back when you've more than rags to your name. This is no mere treasure map. It is a guide to the vaults of Arzadal III, one of the great satraps of Radzat Han, and a direct descendant of Alzadal Khan.
A map to Alzadal's legacy?
Look at this kid.
So he says. A fake, I'd wager.
This is no fake. The parchment is marked with an arcane glyph of passage. You may find the ruins hidden in the bounty, but you won't be setting foot inside without this in your possession. A priceless artifact it is, discovered amongst the rubble in the aftermath of the final days, and lovingly restored by yours truly. This map is the key to fabulous riches, and I'll be the king of fools to simply give it away. Be glad I am no such king, boy. Your scrawny-eyed would never return with that treasure alive.
Oh, cruel fate! Why must you tempt me with wealth I am powerless to claim? How I shall envy the one who purchases that precious map! Whatever they pay will be but pittance against the golden hoard they stand to uncover.
Estinian.
What of you, sir? Fighting man of your stature would surely relish the challenge of recovering Alzadal's lost fortune.
A fortune, you say?
If I had but the strength to seize that treasure, my starving sister would never want for food.
I'll take it. Will this cover the price?
I think he's being scammed, Estinian.
Well met, my friend. Someone is dressed for adventure. But why Favner of all places? Knowing you, I suspect there's more to your plans than sightseeing and shopping. Ruins beneath the bounty. Curious. And here I've acquired a map to just such a site.
With that sale, I do believe I've earned the rest of the day off. Thank you for your patronage, sir, but if you'll excuse me.
You needn't mind us.
And now I've fleeced one of the heroes of the final days. Pray the sisters were looking elsewhere.
This map may or may not be genuine. Either way, we'll need a ship to find out for sure.
Never took you for a treasure hunter.
Lest you misunderstand, I seek the treasure not for myself. If such a fortune truly exists, then it could help ease the struggles of those who lost their loved ones in the final days. I hope to do for Thavnir what you and Alphino did for the Alamegans when you recovered the Mad King's trove. Come now. You know Alphino needs little encouragement when it comes to recounting the tales of your shared exploits. Speaking of precocious lads, that boy in the bazaar was clearly an accomplice of the merchant. Suppose his role was to draw the attention of the crowd and add weight to the merchant's bold claims. Transparent act for the most part. It was not all mummery. The need to provide for his sister rang true enough. Thus, if some portion of the profits end up in that waif's pockets, then I will consider it money well spent. Whether the map leads us to the vault or not. You are coming along, yes?
Naturally.
I thought as much. Now, let's see about securing a vessel.
That kid. Estinian has been added to the Unending Codex. Really? Hey, Estinian. You will recall I spoke of visiting Thavnir at Ritra's request. Well, he finally invited me to a feast and made his proposal once I was too full of Hannish delights to refuse. He wishes me to train the Radiant Host in lance work. That is a tale for another time. What we need now is a merchant for a trawler with a ship fit for the open seas. Mattia is a fisherman by trade, yes? We should head to Akiali and see if he can help us. Alright, let's talk to Mattia. Do 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 do. Do do. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Mattia! My friends, what brings you to our humble village? So you need a seaworthy vessel to seek these ruins. Considering it was your deeds which allowed us to return to fishing, I should think everyone would be glad for a chance to repay the favor. Wait here and I will have a boat stocked and ready for you in no time at all. Have you noticed our little shadow? He's been following us since we left the city. We see you there, boy. Show yourself. Ah, it is you. You know how far out of our way we walked so that you'd not cross paths with some wild beast? I'm sorry, sir, but aren't you the heroes who saved Thavnair? You are. I know you are. And I've gone and cheated you. I work with Zazel, you see, the map merchant. My job to play the pleading orphan and convince the crowd his wares are worth the price he asks. I'm ashamed of what I've done, and I beg for your forgiveness. Not for you, my sister and I would never have... Well, we'd be... Enough. I knew your game, and I paid the price willingly. A fortunate purchase, as it turns out, for my friend here was seeking those very ruins. You are kind to overlook the wrong I have done you, but there is more you need to know. The map you bought is very real, as is the island it shows. I overheard Zazel selling the information to another customer. He told that man where he needed to search about the ruins, about the vault, about everything. Then the man sailed out to find his fortune, never to return. You cannot go alone to that place. You should have more friends with you, maybe even a whole army. I do not doubt the ruins hold danger, but I assure you, between the two of us, there is little we cannot overcome. Please, I cannot bear the thought of... We could invite our comrades. Oh, you've gone and made him cry. That we could, and assuming we do find this treasure hoard, it may prove wise to have more hands along for the carrying. Any ideas on whom to approach? The Scions have scattered far and wide since our last gathering. Y'shtola. Y'shtola? Her magics would be a welcome addition, aye, but I am loath to interrupt her research. Mayhap we could ask a less prickly companion. Tancred and Urianger? Tancred and Urianger, eh? Those two would answer our call, certainly, but they left the Rising Stones with a definite task in mind, and I am loath to interrupt their self-appointed mission. G'raha, Tia, and Cryo? Cryo may have her hands full rebuilding the students, but if you reach out to G'raha, he would surely leap at the invitation. Will that set your mind at ease? Yes, if that man is as strong as you. Is he, though? Strong, I mean? What is your name, boy? Mehrad, sir. Well, Mehrad, your life is yours to live as you will, but I suggest you find a more honest trade if you truly wish to keep your sister safe. I'm not proud of what I do, but what choice do I have? We need to eat, and everybody's too busy rebuilding their own lives to bother with two grubby orphans. Wait, boy. I didn't take this roundabout road just to see you end up in some creature's belly. Let me walk you back to the city gates. Thank you, sir. Call me Estinian. Alright, Estinian, you gonna walk him home? I shall leave you to recruit G'raha. He'll appreciate the invitation that much more, I'm sure. As I recall, he was based at the Annex. Someone there ought to be able to point you in the right direction. Let us be off too, Mehrad. Do me a favor and don't stray from the path. Okay. Go to Beldessian. Annex. Whoops. What did I click? Oh, the right one. The crystal from beyond. Oh, okay. Okay. We'll do that in a different episode. Oh, look who it is. Welcome back, Vesper. What might the students do for you? G'raha. Yes, he's in the main hall with Mistress Cryo. They've been holed up in there for days. By all means, go and give them an excuse to take a break.
Ah, Ojika, my good man. Would you be so kind as to...
Oh, isn't this a pleasant surprise?
I wish you had sent word ahead. I thought I was having visions for a moment there.
What are the two of you working on?
Raha and I have been compiling old records of the students' activities. We located several accounts in the archives of Numenon and added them to the collection we recovered from the Isle of Vow.
And judging by the progress we've made thus far, sorting this pile will keep us occupied for days to come. But what brings you to the Annex, my friend? Surely you haven't come all this way just to watch us shuffle dusty papers around? The treasure vault of Alzadal III.
And you're looking for companions to join you on this expedition. I would dearly love to accompany you, of course, but I'm afraid I'm committed to another task. On the subject of which I had hoped to ask for your assistance.
He's so happy.
Then again, it's not so urgent that it can't wait until you've returned. You should go, Raha. I'll stay here and mind the shop, as it were.
Are you sure? I'd hate to leave you short-handed.
I'm sure. Just try to be back before too many moons have passed.
Well, I guess we're off on another adventure already. Have you asked anyone else to come along? Then might I suggest we invite your Stola? Ever since the Scions disbanded, she's spent most of her time cloistered within the Great Gooble Library, hoping to piece together a method to traverse the rift. It would seem, however, that whatever wisdom she sought there was not to be found. She arrived in Charlian the other day. We spoke briefly before she began her search of Numenon. Considering what you've told us of Alzadal's extraordinary feats, I do believe your Stola would be more than interested to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, we can get your Stola.
Splendid! Then let us head to the archives at once.
Wait, before you go. I have another potential member to volunteer, if you've room to spare. Urianger.
Thought he
Sent the
and
students a request for materials, you see. Treatises on the architecture of treasure vaults and the like.
that he and Thancred were out doing something.
From what I can gather, the Loperites are looking to make improvements to their own creation and wish to learn more about how we build things down here. So, why not take Urianger with you? Let him study Alzadal's legacy firsthand.
None can deny the benefit of seeing something with your own eyes. If our expedition leader has no objections, I say we extend Urianger an invitation once we've spoken with your Stola.
Safe travels, you two. But don't forget, I'd still like your help with that other matter I mentioned.
Yeah, of course.
Right. Then it's off to the library.
Graha has been added to the Unending Codex. Okay, where are we going now? Ooh, we might have to just run there. Let's just run there. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. 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 Boom, boom. Right, where is she? Yestola and Grahatia. She's sleeping? Aww.
I've never known Yestola to doze off in the middle of research before.
We're just gonna wait for her to wake up.
Close my eyes for one moment. Ow! Ugh. How long have you two been here?
She's pissed at us. We didn't want to wake you.
Nor did I want to fall asleep. I must have been studying for 2-3 days straight before exhaustion finally claimed me. As you know, I've been researching ways to travel from the source to one of its reflections. Well, looking for hints at least. I don't expect to find a simple set of instructions tucked away in some dark corner of the library. So I've been skimming through the stacks, hoping to uncover even a partial mention of any similar feats in the past. A means to travel between worlds exists, and you can be sure I will find a way to employ it. So I promised Runar. But 'twould seem I've set myself a nigh impossible task.
You needn't be so hard on yourself. The leap I made with the Crystal Tower was not achieved in an afternoon. It was the culmination of a collective effort spanning generations.
Oh, you think me discouraged? I assure you, 'tis quite the opposite. A daunting challenge and the time to sink my teeth into it. I feel like a fresh-faced student again.
A scholar in her element.
Indeed. Was there something else you wish to ask of me?
We're going on a treasure hunt, Yestola.
Alzadal is no minor figure in Harnish history, and much is known about his family. But this is the first I've heard of a descendant surviving a trip to another world. If those tales are true, then he may have left behind some clue as to how it was accomplished. And invitation to delve into one of the world's lingering mysteries. As if I could refuse. And whence do we embark upon this expedition?
Achiale, by ship. But before that, we thought to extend an invitation to Urianger as well. He was in Thalmazane, last we heard.
Then by all means, let us recruit him, and be on our way.
She didn't clean up her pile of books, though. The mammoth's like, what the heck? Yastola has been added to the Unending Codex. And Heidelin has been added? The Reflections. Interesting. Crystal Tower. Hey, Pudding Way. I guess my pudding wasn't needed to stop the final days after all, but I persevere. Once people taste it, they'll be even happier than they were before the apocalypse started. I just know it. Okay. Speak with Urianger at Thalmazane. Go here. Is that how we get there? Argos! Our first time riding Argos. Aha, there he is.
Ah, our illustrious champion. Cloaked in the mantle of the common explorer, fame set aside in thy pursuit of simple adventure. I am told a new expedition is in the offing.
Wasn't Thancred with you?
He left to attend to some personal errand, but should be returning ere long.
You've been keeping yourself busy, I trust?
True to our plan, Thancred and I embarked upon a pilgrimage of sorts, with an eye for gauging the state of those lands through which we passed. Our travels were interrupted, however, by a request for aid from our befurred lunar allies. As you may recall, the Loperites had been seeking new purpose for the moon, another role through which it might serve to benefit mankind. The Forum hath been working to advise them in this endeavor, but I return to offer mine own counsel.
And this has what to do with treasure vaults, exactly?
Ah, you have learned of my predicament from Mistress Kryl. I know not whence they acquired such knowledge, but the Loperites now stand convinced that adventurers delight in treasure hunts. Thus, with their newly built wonderland of riches and mystery, do they hope to entice all manner of daring delvers to the moon. So earnest and innocent was their desire to bring joy to the world that I found myself powerless to refuse them my cooperation. But what of you, my friends? Why are you come to Labyrinthos? fascinating. This is indeed a most fortuitous opportunity. I should be honored to accept thine invitation. How long hath it been, I wonder, when last our actions were not impelled by fate or desperation?
Aye. Though I cherish the Scion's accomplishments, 'tis pleasant to not have the weight of the world upon our shoulders for a change.
Counting Estinian, we number 5 now, yes? Without knowing what traps or perils await unwary feet, we may be wise to refrain from recruiting others.
I agree. Between us, we should have the skills to handle whatever situation may arise. Shall we be on our way?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go hunt some treasure.
What, no time to spare a word for the grizzled old bard?
Uh-oh, hey, Thancred. You're not invited.
All is well, I trust?
A wasted trip, I'm afraid. I'd hoped to catch up with a former mentor while you parleyed with the rabbits, but it seems our paths were not to cross.
You're looking well.
That's because we didn't travel by experimental etherite. It's astounding what a lack of nausea does for one's sense of well-being. In any case, as we made our way around Ilzabard, we saw that much of the continent was in various stages of chaos. A certain amount of disorder is to be expected. The final days are over, and the people no longer have a common threat binding them together. That's the thing with these fledgling troubles, eh? You need to keep an eye out, lest they mature into full-grown headaches. So, for what reason have so many esteemed personages seemed fit to gather? Beneath the waters of the Bounty, you say? I see you've already stolen away my traveling partner with the promise of unexplored ruins and scholarly glory.
Nay, 'tis not for mine own indulgence, but rather the fulfillment of my commitment to the Loporits.
Ah, of course. And if you have Estinian rounding out your group, you'll likely have all the members you need.
Feeling left out? I could put in a good word for you, if you like.
We may have been released from our obligations, but I'll never be free of that merciless wit of yours, will I? In all seriousness, 'tis best I sit this one out. Too many former scions consorting with one another might be seen as a cause for concern in certain quarters. I'll return to my usual reconnaissance and scout out the situation in the Far East. Feel free to share if you come across any interesting revelations. Till we meet again.
Bye, Thancred.
Shall we also hasten our departure? Sir Estinian will wonder what hath become of us.
Rianjay seems excited to get going. Rianjay has been added to the Unending Codex. Okay, I want to go to Old Charlian. I gotta do this or we're not gonna remember to do it in the next episode. Right here. Alright. We're gonna log off right next to you, little guy. Alright, so that's gonna be where we end the episode here. When we come back, as you guys can see, we're probably gonna do some raiding. I'm excited. I really like the raids. This was my first time doing some Savage raiding in this expansion, so it's going to be nice to not do Savage and just do the normal raids. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. I want to thank you so much for all of your support on this series. If you do want to see more of the Final Fantasy XIV online Let's Play, make sure to leave a like or subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. Alright, bye-bye everyone.